welcome to SpotLight, the podcast that lifts the curtain on life behind the Grand Theatre. I am Tonia.
And I am Scott.
And we are joined today by a very special guest, Zach Douglas.
Yes.
So good to have you here today, Zach.
It's nice to be here.
Oh,
yeah, always.
So we're just going to kickstart. Well, like we both know you really well, so this is going to be just a lovely chat, isn't it?
It's going to be fun.
Have a lovely chat with you and just relax. But just tell us a little bit about your role here at the Grand to begin with, because we at the Grand Theatre. But we know there's lots that you do, and we'll get to it, won't we? But just tell us a little bit about your role here at the Grand.
No, firstly, it's nice to be here. This is my hometown theatre, the Grand Theatre, from down the road, Ford Houses, you know it. We were actually neighbours, and then Tonia got posh, and when she was like, "Oh, there, I'm gonna go to the posh areas, Compton, darling." But Ford Houses, born and bred, and still live there now. And I think I've always wanted to, like, I call it a proper job. Have something in Wolverhampton where I can work, feel comfortable, and to be able to work at my hometown theatre is brilliant. So I'm one of the front of house managers here. We've got a great front of house team. I started working in the front of house team just as a bar member. And then when the opportunity came to manage the team, I genuinely say this all the time, I wouldn't do it if we didn't have such a great team. But it's the first face that people see when they come to the theatre, and everyone's brilliant, and to be able to manage such a good team, it's an honour. Wow, and
it's a wonderful face to see. As soon as you walk in, when there's a project happening and you're just there smiling and happy, you are brilliant at that. And it's really good that you, like you said, you're from Wolverhampton and you're working locally. It's so important that, you know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And I guess your first memories of the Grand Theatre aren't from working here. I guess as a kid you used to come here. Did you ever perform here? Tell the people.
Tell the people.
My first memories were, I think quite a lot of people that are from Wolverhampton, their first interaction with the theatre is Panto.
Yeah.
Everyone comes to the Panto as a kid. And actually, I won't pretend that I had a big theatrical upbringing. I played football, and one of the things about Wolverhampton, which I think the Grand is really in the middle of developing, is Wolverhampton's historically never had a culture for theatre. So young kids from areas that maybe didn't have the means and the resources to come to the theatre just didn't know what was on. And if you don't know, you can't be. If you don't see it, you can't go there or whatever.
Like it could not be accessible.
If you don't know it, you can't. If I don't know that there's I just see the Grand as, that's that big building. I walk past when I go catch the bus. And then it's not until you actually come in and watch something that you're like, oh, that's really cool. And I can't remember the first Panto that I saw, but all I remember is someone was stuffing cheese into someone's mouth as a bit, and I want to say it was Joe Pasquale. And there was a bit, and it will always stand with me. I don't know how many years ago it was. I don't know how old I was. I think it was a school trip, and I remember he clearly was going off script because it was lasting way too long, and he was just shoving cheese, and he kept on looking off stage. And maybe someone will remember what Panto was.
We might remember.
We've done a podcast not long ago with one of the staff members, and
with Ray Tizard.
With Ray, and we think we know which Panto
that was.
Which Panto
and I remember being in the audience and just really laughing, and like that was the thing that I fell in love with that Panto in particular, was those raw moments where it's like the scripted, but it's that audience interaction where actors on stage going, this is funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
I find it funny. You see them laughing, you're laughing, and you're going, I don't know what's going on, but there's cheese just being shoved in. I think everyone was frozen.
Yeah.
And then he was unfrozen and just like shoving cheese in someone's mouth. And I found it hilarious. And then when I did get into performing, I was like, I want to act. I was never good at it, never did it before, but I was very much, let's go 100% into trying to be an actor. And I had a casting director that saw me for a show called Raised by Wolves. And she said, Zach, you're brilliant, but you've never even done a play. And I was like, oh no, my teacher told me to come down. And she said,
that is true.
Yeah,
that is
she
true.
said, go away, get experience, and then we'll consider you if we get commission for season 1. So I joined Bilston Operatics, WYMT, and Central Youth Theatre. And those were like my first experiences of performing. And here, my first show was Annie. I want to say 2014.
Yeah.
And then my like standout show that I remember was I did Hairspray in 2015.
Oh, wow.
And that was my first ever show that I did with WYMT as well. So to do that we did that at the music school. And then a couple of years later to do it on the Grand Theatre, I thought I was famous.
Yeah.
There was people, I made a Jamaican pirate. There's not a Jamaican pirate in the script. No, not a pirate, sorry. I did, the year after that, I did Peter Pan. And I made a Jamaican pirate. So it was those 2 shows. So that one was the show that I realised I could dance a little bit, which I didn't. I was like, I can't move, I can't dance. And like, if anyone that's watched Hairspray, it's literally like... It's all about... It's all in the hips. But I give everything a go. And... I remember people started to say, oh, you did that show? And then the next year I was really confident, and that made me start to like think of it as acting, and I was making choices. So I changed one of the characters to make him a Jamaican pirate, and I had dreadlocks, and it was literally just one little bit. But I remember thinking of myself as an actor from that Hairspray show where I got the confidence to see people standing up, cheering and all that sort of stuff. So the Grand really like made me go, oh, I can be an actor and I can be on these spaces, and then I was able to put that mindset on to going out and pursuing a career in acting, which is the other reason that I'm here as well.
Amazing. So as you talked about you pursuing your career in acting, and as Scott just said that, you know, you started out you know, with the youth theatre and everything else and the operatic. So just tell us a little, you said you went for a casting and then she said to go away and develop. So tell us how much developed are you now? Like, what are you doing now, basically?
So now I'm lucky enough to call myself a professional actor.
Okay.
I've been for probably the last 7 years now, but I would say professionally.
So tell us a little bit about
with experiences. At the moment I'm promoting a show called Go Ed, comes out the 5th of February on ITVX.
Hey,
I know my camera, I can see you see me.
You're on the camera, yes, the
this is someone who's worked on TV.
The training is where he just went straight into them.
So if this goes out before then, save it. But if it goes out after, then watch it. It's on ITVX available. And it's
so what is that?
Tell us
what is that?
Go Ed is it's a coming of age comedy, very much in the world of if anyone's watched Derry Girls, bunch of young school kids and finding themselves really. And this one just so happens to be set in Liverpool, so a city that is very, when it is represented on TV, it's more so in a negative about the crime rate, or they have Scouse characters that are troublemakers. Not to say there isn't troublemakers in our show, but it's more showing the humanity of young people at school and going, let's zone in on Liverpool and show the funny side, the dramatic side, what they're going through. So even though it's a comedy, there's some really heartfelt moments as well, and it follows a group of friends and just discovering themselves and the scrappiness of being a kid, especially now. When I shave this off,
I was about to say, how old do you have to play?
So I'm 16 in that show, and great. If anyone asks, I'm 17 in real life. If anyone's questioning it, we'll keep my age a secret. But but I'm surrounded by a brilliant young cast. A lot of them, it's their first time being a lead in a TV show, and I've been lucky enough to do a few bits of TV and work with really established actors. But these young people they stand on their own. And when people watch it, I hope they're able to see and appreciate that for people that it's their first time playing really complex characters, they're able to find the comedy, but find the drama, and really like tell this story, which has been brilliantly like put together by the whole team.
Amazing.
And do you learn on the job? Like when it comes to TV acting, like I guess you can go to drama school, and maybe they teach that there, but I think when anyone thinks of acting, first and foremost, they think of acting on stage. So acting on TV, who prepares you for that? How do you...
I have two answers for that.
Yeah.
First, I say football.
Okay.
Train me in acting.
Yeah.
But that's like my core values in acting. So not necessarily technique, but core values in football, like the discipline, the teamwork, seeing it as not like an individual thing of if I'm trying to make you look good and you're trying to make me look good, that we get a goal.
Yeah.
If I'm being selfish, you're being selfish, it'll just look separated.
Yeah.
And so football was one, and then I put all my like thanks and training to theatre acting, because I didn't go down the drama school route. Because I got into acting. Okay, spoiler, I didn't start acting until I was 18, so I'm a bit older than 18. Because I didn't start until I was 18, and I was like, okay, if I want to act, what do I have to do? Everyone said drama school. So I was like, okay, sounds like a big deal. I need to make sure I'm ready. So I started doing Bilston, all these. I joined Willenhall Apparatchiks at one point. I did everything I could locally, and in order to get good enough to go to drama school. But I realised I was learning and picking up stuff from even things that you wouldn't think would train you for TV acting, like doing a musical at the Grand.
Yeah.
It still trained me to be able to feel comfortable in every situation. You can't predict theatre.
Yeah.
You can't go, this is how this show will go. Every show, especially in Amdram, because everyone's at different levels. Experiences, have different confidence levels on stage. So it really teaches you to be awake and listening. And the biggest thing I've learned for TV is you can't predict the day. You might think you're filming a certain scene, but the weather's bad, so you can't film that. And the producer's saying, "Oh, Zach, can you go learn this scene?" I'm like, "What? We weren't supposed to film that for 2 weeks." It's like, "Yeah, but we've got the venue," and then you locking yourself away like with a script and trying to pick that up. So I put all my training down to doing all these things, and then getting to a point of going, I could go to drama school, which is a good route. Like I mentor young people and help them get into drama school, but also there's the reality of it, like when you go to uni,
expensive.
It's expensive, and I didn't come up from a background where I could feel comfortable to have that, either have that debt or have anyone that could support that. So it got to a point where I was in rooms with actors that had been to drama school, and I'm going, okay. And there was no thing of, I'm better than you because I'm here. It's going, I'm just in the same world. And I my first actual professional paid work was a touring panto with Zip Theatre, which like a lot of people, especially locally, they were like, to me, they were famous because I remember being in primary school, watching Dennis come out as a dame and be like, "Oh my
gosh!" He will tell you, he's the longest black dame in the world.
I don't know if it's the world, the West Midlands, Wolverhampton, one of them, but let's say the world. Then,
let's say the world, because if he listens, he'll be like, "It's the world."
Dennis, you're in my eyes as well. He's the one of the top entertainers that I grew up watching, because to me, when you're a kid, you don't think about local or they're on TV, that you used to think, I look forward to this. And like, we'd look forward to Zip Theatre's panto every year.
Yeah.
And weirdly, when I was in that journey of just trying everything, I got the opportunity I did Little Red Riding Hood with them first. And then I did Cinderella with them the year after. And that put me in a space to feel confident to like just give it a go and go, let's try it. Like,
amazing.
I was there performing with people that I looked up to, and
amazing.
Thought, why not? Why can't a lad from Ford Houses do the same and give it a go, see how far it goes?
Zach, I just want to know a little bit about has there been any kind of barriers to your journey into the world, or has it just been like you said you went and did you didn't go to drama school, but you've been learning on the job. You've done some, I mean, the portfolio, just from what I've got here, you've done Afterlife, Ridley, Vera, the Larkins, the Good Ship Murder, Lord of Mercy. You've done loads. You're doing amazing. You've got Gued now.
Yeah.
Gued. Even though
we would go Gued, they would go Goed.
Yeah, exactly.
Goed, mate.
So did you have to do an accent and
Yeah, I
everything?
did. I've got a blocked nose now, so the accent's not coming out.
Yeah, no, I said, yeah. This is brilliant. So, did you find there was any barriers, and if so, how did you overcome those to get into these? And then tell us a little bit about some of those projects.
Yes, there still is, even now as I'm sitting here. There's barriers, and I think for me, it's the thing of I've never focused on the barrier.
Brilliant.
I remember being a kid, and I think this is where the football training comes in, because to me that was harder, not harder, but comparable. But because I got my mind round and wanting to be a footballer from young, I already mentally had that mindset of, okay, there's going to be hard days, there's going to be barriers, but a barrier can only be so big, and at some point there's a way to get around it. But you can exert all your energy trying to bust through it and jump over it, or you can take your time and just go for a walk. And hopefully get around it. And some are bigger than others. So yes, there is and have been quite a lot of barriers, but I don't even know if I could fully go into depth of what they are, because I didn't pay too much attention to.
That's brilliant.
Very
That's
much like even the drama school and the money thing. I went, okay, well, I'll just do this.
Go that way.
And I noticed actually just giving stuff a go, and I think sometimes the biggest barrier can be pride and thinking, oh, I can't do that. I can't do. I can't. I remember actually doing. From doing that panto, I got a national tour, which was a play called Nightlight, and it was a complete opposite to panto. Really, it was a three-hander with Amy Powell, and that really taught me like a different side of acting, and to go out every night and have to hit a certain level because it's only three of you on stage, and it was about the refugee crisis, and I did that. And I remember that I've lost my train of thought. What was I talking about?
So you were just saying that that you was, I think it was learning. You were learning a lot on that job.
Yes, yeah. So learning that, and that being the opposite to panto, really showed me that there's no rules. Like when you think you've got it, you don't. That was it. Pride. Cool. So I did that, and I got my first bigger paycheck.
Yes.
And then I went back and did National Youth Theatre.
Yeah,
which
I remember that.
Is a really well-esteemed company. But if you don't know about acting, all my uncle was seeing was you're getting paid, and then now you're going to do something where you have to pay a fee, and you do a play and you're not getting paid. And I was like, oh, but it's a good opportunity. And if pride took over me, I would have been like, yeah, no, I won't do that. I'm a real actor. But actually, I got way more. I got loads from Nightlight as a learning opportunity. But as an actor, I got my agent from doing NYT. I've made some of the best friends in the industry from doing NYT. Even now, most sets that I get on, there's actors that are like, you did NYT, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, we watched The Host in, I think I did that in 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
And so there's actors that like respect me that I've never met, like, just saw me on the poster or came and watched the show, because they do have a big reach. And so that I quickly learned that there's no room for pride. There's no room. Even coming here, some people all the time say, why do you work at the Grand? And I'm like, one, why not? It's
a great place to work.
It's a great place to work. And if this is my little piece of having a input into this theatre and what it does in my hometown, I'll take it. Oh. And I'd rather that than sit at home and be like, I'm too good to be at the Grand. It's like, I'll be sitting at home doing nothing. That's not better than being here. And instead I'm able to come here whenever I'm free and feel welcomed, but also be able to welcome people and hopefully make, even if it's a couple people each time I work, go, oh, we want to come back there. But that's my only thing as a manager. I'm not the strictest manager. People will say, I don't know if I'm the pushover one, but my thing is I want the staff to enjoy working here, and then in turn them to make people want to come back, and whether that's to watch a show, to get involved in the volunteering, like we have the memory cafe or stuff like that, and feel that they can come to the theatre anytime and feel welcomed, and not like, oh, what is that place, that big building in the middle of town where everyone gets dressed up and goes there, and it's more so we feel welcome, and we can go there just as much as anyone else can.
Anybody else can. You are amazing, Zach. I just wanted to I really enjoyed Afterlife. I know you can tell me which one you enjoyed, but tell us a little bit about working on that project.
Afterlife, it was a bit of a blur, to be fair, because actually I'm a bit broken in sometimes, because I do have that mindset of let's go, and I'll apply that to Afterlife or my theatre work or teaching or whatever. I think at the time I was teaching at CYT, but I was filming the Larkins as well at the same time, and then I had like a day off to go do Afterlife. I did it all, and it only took one day filming.
Wow.
And it was very much I don't know if this is true, but there was a rumour that Ricky doesn't work past 5.
Right.
So sometimes on set you're working
That's
till
Ricky who? Ricky.
Oh, Ricky Gervais.
Exactly.
Writer, director and producer of Afterlife and star. I can do.
You were our star.
But no, he was brilliant, and he was someone
he was.
Obviously I know how big he is, but when I'm working, I think it's that footballer thing of going, I'll probably be more nervous being across from a footballer than an actor, where it's just more, I go to work, I do it, then it's after when it came out that I was like, oh yeah, that was pretty big, wasn't it? I think it's the most watched comedy on Netflix, and just doing a little part in that just really showed me that it's funny because I was working harder on other things. To me,
but that's the one.
That's the one that really stood out to people, and then from there I got other opportunities, and that crossed over with the Larkins was the thing that took me from having a foothold in TV to then being seen as someone that can lead, or like even Larkins, I was only supposed to be in one episode. It was supposed to be like a similar thing, and the producer just liked me and said, oh, would you like to be in more episodes? Or would you like to be in the Christmas special? Then again, each time I thought I was done, I get a phone call to be like, we've got season 2, do you want to be in that? I'm like, are you sure? That I'm not supposed to be in this? But it was really nice, and Afterlife was a big part of that, more so after Afterlife. Realizing being a part of something that I think Afterlife, I don't know when the next show that will take that mantle will be, and I don't think it'll be for a long time.
Even in these, you've clearly made an impact, because I've lost count of the amount of times now I've come to watch a show here and been sat in my seat, and then people have sort of hidden behind their programme and gone, is that from all of these shows, and there you are just doing your job. People clearly recognise you from all of these.
Sometimes I float about and don't realise until someone actually grabs me and go, you're that guy, and I think so. But I don't want to assume as well, because sometimes it could be, you live down there.
But then I think most recently, The Good Ship Murder, let's just quickly talk about that, because I mean, what a cast that you're surrounded by as well. Claire Sweeney, cast. Shane Ward, and then of course Catherine Tilsley, who's going to be here very soon in Bonnie and Clyde. I guess if you're around, you're going to see her and catch her.
100%. We've already been talking about where she's going to stay and stuff like that. Literally, I wished her good luck yesterday, because she started rehearsals yesterday, and that job was that was the next step of learning. So I learned how to feel comfortable with all my other jobs, and then this one was, okay, now how does it feel to be a lead? How does it feel to be like woven through, not just, so Ridley taught me how to be a lead in a singular episode, similar with Vera, and then Good Ship Murder taught me how to be a lead throughout a series, and what's my place in that. And luckily, I was surrounded by other brilliant leads like Catherine, Shane, and Claire. Even he's not as much of a household name, but Jeffrey, who plays Piers in the show, brilliant. Like, he really cares about the craft. So being able to talk to all these people and feel supported, but also find my place and go, oh, actually, no, I can do this. Like I remember being on there going, oh, I'm not struggling, but not in a bad way to say it was easy to go. I feel supported, but also I feel like I have a place, and they made me feel like that. Like they were really complimentary about my performances. I think it's just in me to be a bit of a hospitality person. So because we were filming episodes that, for those that haven't watched it, it's 8-part series where each episode is set in a different location. And so we had brilliant guest cast for each episode. Yeah. And I'd feel, especially when we were on the cruise ship, so we filmed on a real cruise ship, I felt the responsibility to make sure that the cast felt comfortable to come and perform. And so
you was being your grand theatre
self. I'd literally greet them at the door. Hiya, what room are you in? Oh, okay, yeah, I know where the floor is. Oh, dinner's at 8. Oh, and then it's like, oh yeah, I'm not working. They'd be like, Zach, you've got like work to do tomorrow. I was like, I know, don't worry. And but yeah, I felt supported, especially by the producer Paul, who actually was the lead writer on Ridley. So it's a small world as well. So
once you get in and you get the jobs going,
and I'll say that my dad always told me this: it's nice to be nice.
Yes.
And when I was a kid, I was like, "What are you talking about, Dad?"
Yeah.
I thought it was just being silly. But as I grow up, it's genuinely nice to be nice. And it's not for any gain from anyone else. It's genuinely because, one, it makes you feel nice, and two, people remember you and go, "I want to be around nice people." And being on set, I was nice to everyone. They were nice to me, and I felt supported. I didn't feel intimidated. Yeah. And we're proud of doing a show that technically, like, it, for like, pardon the pun, it's uncharted waters. Yeah. It was something, no one's filmed a whole, like, half of a series at sea. Yeah. With 5,000 people on as guests.
So was
it? You were actually.
Yeah, were people on holiday?
Yeah, people were on holiday. No, yeah, we had the Scottish half term at one point where we had a bunch of Scots that couldn't care less if we were filming a blockbuster film or a series or whatever. That is they were on holiday.
What was the ship?
It was the MSC Virtuosa. Wow. And they were brilliant. They looked after us, and
I've done a few MSC ships, and they're gorgeous ships.
So everything you see on a ship is on the ship.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there was no studio shots for the ship?
No. Everything was on the ship. Everything on land.
That's so good.
Was in Malta. Yeah. So that was lovely.
But did you get to eat all the food?
That was a dream job.
When you weren't filming, you were a guest on that ship.
Because we had, like, you've done cruise ships, so you can get passes where it's the food, it's all included. The drinks are all included. And then you and especially with filming, because you wake up early. So sometimes I'd wake up at 5, be done with my scenes by 10, 11. I'd be going to the bar and going, oh no, it's technically breakfast time. But you feel like the whole day's happened already.
It's technically
you finished work now, you've blocked off.
Yeah. But
you know what?
Tempting to get a pina colada and sit on the deck and just watch, because you're just watching these beautiful scenery as you're traveling along.
Do you know what? I just want to say it's been an absolute pleasure having you on our Spotlight. Yeah. You are you just a treasure, and one of the young
still young
local stars of Wolverhampton. You're doing great. We're following your career. We're loving you and supporting you, and the fact that you are here at the Grand, enjoying your time here as well. I just think it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and he's been a wonderful guest, hasn't he? Absolutely.
And I want to say thank you for you guys for having me and the whole team. I've said it off camera, but I want to say it on camera. It's a brilliant setup, and it's what we deserve. I think sometimes in the Midlands we get made to feel like, we can only do a little bit, or we shouldn't put stuff out, but we deserve the spotlight.
Exactly.
And
spotlight.
That's it. And we have talented people that work all throughout this building, and it's just going back to the theatre just before we finish. It's a brilliant theatre that everyone, the people go, why should I go to a theatre in Wolverhampton? And it's going, we're different from, I've worked in theatres all around the country. Yeah. But we have heart, we care about people. Yes, you can technically watch shows at other theatres, but if you come here, you'll get met with a smile and feel a proper theatre, hospitality environment that I think, unfortunately, in other places is dying. It's becoming a bit more just robotic, a bit more, come in, take your seats, you won't be greeted, you know where to go. I think theatre's getting taken for granted, where here we still hold on to that. Really want people to come down, watch shows here, book a booth, get a prosecco.
And you're good at that as well. You're in the brochures, with the spot, with the whole booth. But we're gonna have to wrap up now. But I just want to say we are trying to create our own little jingle. So I don't know if you've got any ideas for a little jingle. Two beats quick.
For Spotlight.
Oh, for Spotlight.
What's your
Spotlight jingle?
Has anything been established?
No.
This could be it.
You've only got 10 seconds.
Oh, okay.
You've got 21 seconds to go. Come on. Spotlight. I'm putting you on the spot. Go for it. Little jingle.
Spotlight at the Grand. Wow.
That was good. Spotlight at the Grand. Wow.
There we are.
Thank you. That is so good.
We'll leave that to the more musically inclined.
No, remember, you like a challenge.
Well, we'll give it a go.
We'll have to try that with our next guest.
Yes, we will.
This will be a competition.
And we'll put it to a vote. Which one?
And then we'll have our Spotlight podcast
we'll mash
jingle.
Them all up.
Mix them up. Yes, DJ, we'll get Goldie on. We'll get Goldie on. Make him DJ our Spotlight at the Grand.
Well, on that note.
We need to end it.
We need to go.
Thank you,
guys.
Amazing.
Well,
thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you at home for listening and watching along. And we can't wait to see you in the next one. Spotlight at the Grand.
Wow.